Going on, dudes and dudettes? Looks kind of dark, huh? There you go. Yes, so, of course, right after my video, I believe it was Friday, the USC football team got another big Oklahoma flip in wide receiver slash cornerback Makai Lemon. He was one of my favorite high school wide receivers the past year or so once I saw him on a couple highlight reels, and yes, it did hurt when he was going to end up going to Oklahoma, but luckily he is following where his quarterback is going as well. They won't be here next season, but the season after, so they're juniors in high school right now. But yeah, overall, definitely very excited about this. I think he already has enough talent as of this second to be like an undrafted free agent in the NFL. So hopefully with the newer coaches and whole new philosophy there at USC, he will be able to become, USC's next great first round draft pick as a wide receiver. So definitely happy about that. Then Matt Leinart, ex-great USC Heisman quarterback, has actually been helping out with recruiting recently, and he's actually been hanging out with or helping recruit the 5-star cornerback Damani Jackson out of Modern Day, who was committed to USC but decided to give other options and see what else was out there. And of course now he's down to only 2 teams, USC and Alabama. Pretty sure he'll be making that decision soon. Obviously, hopefully it is USC, and this little bit of extra recruiting is helping, but yeah, we'll have to wait to find out. But Lincoln Riley is already trying to fill out his coaching staff and has hired at least 2 offensive guys. I believe the first guy earlier that he had hired in the week was Dave Nickel. He was at Mississippi State. He was a wide receivers coach, but apparently he's going to be the inside wide receivers coach only for USC. So it's a pretty specific type of coaching job, but I guess he could probably be pretty good at it apparently. And then they also hired out of Tulsa, the University of Tulsa or Tulsa University, whatever it is, Zach Hansen. I believe he was the offensive line coach there, but I believe he is going to be the tight ends coach at USC. So, similar blocking, abilities and skills for both those sides. So he must be pretty good. So hopefully those guys will be able to not only help with recruiting, but help get these players back into the NFL and drafted again from USC. Then when it comes to Duke recruits that are coming in next season, excuse me, there have been a lot of pretty big tournaments and stuff happening for high school basketball. And Jaden Shutt, the shooting guard, the 4-star, has been playing very well. They said he did put on a show the other day, which is nice to hear. Then also Dariq Whitehead, the other shooting guard, he dropped 31 points as well in his game, which is good. And then also the power forward / center Kyle Filipowski dropped 25 as well. So looks like offensively they're not going to have that many problems coming in next season. I just hope we find some defensive players, or these guys are willing to play team defense, and that could help out too. But yeah, offensively I don't think we're going to have any problems in the future, which is very nice. Very, very nice. Then ex-USC wide receiver, who is a rookie right now for the Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He caught the game-winning pass yesterday for the Lions, which gave them their first victory of the season more than halfway through the NFL season, which is crazy. But yes, he got the game-winning touchdown, which is awesome for him and pretty cool for that team to finally get something. I think they still have the number 1 draft pick even with that W. But yeah, I don't think they're going to win any more games just to be able to keep that number 1 pick. But yeah, congrats to the ex-USC guy. Very happy for him. And then Saturday, yes, sadly, USC did lose to one of their rivals in Cal. At Cal, I believe the final score was 24-14, and it sucked because about midway through, Jackson Dart, who was already a freshman quarterback, ended up getting some type of concussion or something like that knocked him out the rest of the game. So then an even more truer freshman, Miller Moss, out of Bishop Alemany, had to come in and spell him, and it was just tough. It was really bad. And even before that, there was a lot of guys missing. USC probably had only about 50 some odd players out there, when usually you would have about 70 to 80 guys. And yeah, it's just tough to see. They didn't have enough guys, as I mentioned, and ended up losing this game, even though they very well could have won if they didn't make a lot of simple mistakes. But ex-USC defensive coordinator Justin Wilcox, who's the head coach there, knew how to play them, and that's how he got Cal the victory. But overall, kind of happy that this season is finally over. I mean, playing-wise, of course, recruiting-wise, it's still pretty exciting the next couple weeks for the early signing period in mid-December. Definitely looking forward to that. A lot of very talented guys are still switching their opinions about USC, and it's looking pretty bright for this this recruiting class coming in next season for USC. So definitely happy about that. And then USC basketball played over the weekend as well. They were on the road at Washington State. Pretty close game throughout. A lot of times USC was down in the game on the road, but luckily they did get the victory 63-61. It was like a nice putback. He got the rebound and put back for Chavez Goodwin. And I forgot if he hit the free throw. No, I think he did hit the free throw because they were up by 1. Then they were up by 2 after that. And then, Washington State had a chance. I think they had like 2 chances and they still missed, which was nice. So, yes, USC is 8-0 for the basketball season, which is really cool. And then they also have risen with the new polls out today to number 16 in the nation, which is really good for them. So hopefully they can continue to climb up that AP poll and look a lot better and be one of the better teams out there from the Pac-12. It pretty much seems like only UCLA is ahead of them right now, according to the rankings. Then the New Year's 6 bowl games were announced after this whole pretty crazy, pretty exciting college football weekend of seeing who were the champions of their conferences and all that stuff. And now we're able to place other games other than the Final Four, which is pretty cool. But I kind of like to make the picks to see how good I do at the end of those games. So I believe one of the games was, Pittsburgh against Michigan State. I liked Michigan State at first, but I'm going to go with Pittsburgh just because that guy, Pickett, the quarterback for Pittsburgh, seems like he's going to be the first quarterback taken overall. And then for him to perform well against a Michigan State team who's been ranked pretty high, I think he's going to try pretty hard. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh on that one. And then when it comes to Ole Miss against Baylor, pretty interesting matchup. Ole Miss is a very high octane offense, and then Baylor is a nice defensive squad. But I'm gonna have to go with Lane Kiffin, the ex-USC coach, and Ole Miss, and of course Matt Corral, another talented quarterback who's probably gonna be top 3, top 5, and of course he was once committed to USC, but went across the nation. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Ole Miss on that one. Then there's Notre Dame against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State barely lost in a nail biter to Baylor. But yeah, I don't know. Against Notre Dame, they are still a pretty good team, even though I hate to say that. So I'm gonna have to take Notre Dame on that one. And then the Rose Bowl, pretty interesting Crimson matchup with Ohio State versus Utah. Utah's just been killing Oregon, so they got into the Rose Bowl for the first time as a Pac-12 team against Ohio State, who's been pretty much number 1 with another quarterback from California, C.J. Stroud. I'm going to have to go with Ohio State. They seem to be more fire, especially on offense. And a lot of those guys are going to get drafted, so they're going to have to prove themselves in the Rose Bowl. So definitely going to go with Ohio State there, barely, but it's a close one. And then the Final Four, they have Alabama, the number 1 team, versus Cincinnati, who was one of the first times like a team outside of the main Power 5 conferences have actually made the playoff. They definitely deserved it. They went undefeated and, beat Notre Dame in the process as well, their bigger game. But yeah, it just sucks. Your first time there, and of course you get the almighty Alabama, who just demolished, well, they didn't really demolish Georgia, but they certainly handled that game. But I have my reasons why that game happened, because I always think the SEC just wanted 2 schools in the Final Four just to make their conference seem more superior. So Georgia being number 1, they already knew they were going to be in the Final Four no matter what. So I think they lost that on purpose to not show as much of their game plan, so then they could face whoever. If they have to face Alabama again, they'll be ready with something new. So wasn't all that surprised that Georgia lost, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Alabama on this one, even though I would like to see the upset with Cincinnati and Desmond Ridder. It's been a pretty exciting quarterback the past couple years. Then when it comes to the other game, Michigan and Georgia, should be pretty much a dogfight. Very good defenses. The offense for Georgia is a little bit better, so I'm gonna go with Georgia on that one, which is sadly gonna leave Alabama and Georgia, another rematch of SEC teams. But I think, like I said, Georgia didn't show much in that last game, so they're gonna come out and get the victory against Alabama, in my opinion, because Georgia has had the number 1 defense this whole entire year, so might as well just go with that, and we'll see. Even though Alabama's Bryce Young, another ex-committed USC guy from California, is most likely going to win the Heisman this year. Once again, another Alabama guy wins the Heisman. But yes, I'm taking Georgia in that victory in a couple, next month or something. So yeah, I'm looking forward to those. Should be pretty interesting. And then finish this off. Yes, the LA Chargers went on the road to Cincinnati, which is surprising because last year they went to Cincinnati, but I thought we would get Cincinnati here, but I don't know, whatever. So yeah, it was a pretty interesting game. Chargers were up at one point 24-0, and then allowed Cincinnati to tie it up again at 24. But then after that, then Cincinnati made a couple of mistakes, and Joe Burrow messed up his finger, and that definitely messed up everything for him. So he struggled and had a couple turnovers, and the team did as well. So the Chargers ended up winning 41-24, I believe the final score was. Justin Herbert had over 300 yards throwing again and 3 touchdowns. He did have another interception, but yeah, I think I'm gonna blame that on him because he threw it a little bit behind Eckler and he popped it up. So yeah, just dealing with Justin Herbert. And then yeah, I believe Joey Bosa was actually knocked out of this game as well. He missed the whole second half, but apparently he could have played it according to Coach Brandon Staley, but he wanted to save him from himself and not be able to get another even worse concussion. So he was cleared, but they decided to save him, and they still won the game, which is still even better. So yes, luckily and hopefully he will be available next week as well and the rest of the season. And yeah, there was a pickup six because the running back for Cincinnati fumbled and the Chargers took it back. So nice to see that, but they could obviously play a lot better, in my opinion. I forget who they get next. Maybe a divisional game. No, they get the Giants next at home. So it should be a victory. Their next 4 or 5 final games, they should only lose maybe one of those games. But, that's just the fan of me talking, I guess. And then according to the playoffs, they are ranked number 6 right now. So they would be playing the number 2 or 3 seed. I don't know. I forget the rankings, but yeah, number 6 in the playoffs and a wild card. Might be tough to get Kansas City because they keep winning and they just wanted the division. Last night it helped keep Denver away, but kept Cincinnati away even farther above them as well. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.